I'm sure I'm $1 short and a day late. Or more, like 6 days. Anyhow, DC Studios released their latest trailer for Superman. And let's have a look. And then we'll break it down and go over everything.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Sure.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire from what some might... It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing anybody except for me and doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die. Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Your choices, your actions. That's what makes you who you are. Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. Somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. But I will not accept that.
I claimed your boots. I'll go get them for you. You have a dog?
Alrighty then. I don't know why they can't put their best foot forward. I'm sure other people have spoken their mind about the quality of the trailers and such since the first one, little teaser that they had. Let's talk about the music first. I don't mind it. I don't mind a refresh, a rehash. There was nothing wrong with the John Williams theme. They could use it forever for all I care. And they basically made it more electric, which is an interesting direction to go, which is fine. And you just have to remember, a lot of people get upset about these things. You could disagree with me any which way. But at the end of the day, you don't have any control over any of this. You just have your opinion. You're going to see it and you're not going to see it. So let's go and... Alright, so Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane has grown on me, as she has been growing since... Anyway, I don't mind her. I actually do not mind her. So far, without seeing much, and the technology in this... Anyway, I thought it was going to go from, honestly, before the first trailer, I really thought they would start out in 1978, just for fun. And then leapfrog with every movie or every other movie or whatever, and then insert heroes here and there to, not insert heroes, but have their own movies at that time frame rather than just being now or whenever this is. Seeing the giant LCD screens at the Daily Planet completely destroyed that idea for me. And I said, oh well, I don't have any control over it, but it would have been nice to do something totally different instead of inserting things like they inserted Black Widow between movies at Marvel. Here they would just start out at the beginning technically and then just leapfrog every so often. And this way there'd be a reason why they cast a young Superman, because then this way he's the only one that is young, like they would do with Wonder Woman. So in 10 years you could have 20 movies, and now it's at the current time that we would be in, 2035, whatever it is. Man, freaky weird. Anyhow, you got freaked out by the year 2004 was coming up. Anyhow, that would have been an interesting thing to do, but very, 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 not tricky, but very, I don't know, just very interesting to do that. That was a thought I had. But anyway, it's not happening. Everything's happening all at once with all the heroes. So there's just a Batman out there and everything. So let's move on to Mr. Kent. So again, it's whatever. I just want a really good movie. And this shot here, I like that they fixed the eyes. He doesn't blink anymore, but he looks dead-eyed. But I'm sure it's for just that moment in the movie itself, so we don't have to worry about that. But it's nice that it didn't faze him this time. Ruffled his hair, of course, but it's hair. No matter where you are in the universe, hair moves when you touch it. The spit curl he got going here, whatever. It just should have come out of here or swooped down from something. Whatever. I think they might go with it. It's a consequence of him doing whatever, not him like sitting there going like. So, anyhow, and I noticed something else in the trailer, but we'll get to it when we get to it. And this is something that's really interesting. This over here is Rick Flag Sr. Yes, because Rick Flag was killed in the DCEU. So why not go with Rick Flag Sr.? I am not too familiar if he is an actual comic book character or not. He may be. I could be wrong about this. I haven't read Superman in 20 years, or any comic books, actually. I'm just absorbing the movies at this point in time and watching whatever's on Comics Explained and whatever other various things. And he focuses a lot on Marvel. So I get it whenever I can, the information. So anyhow, we have Rick Flag Sr., but I have a problem. He is very, very gray in what was supposed to be a precursor to Superman, the, what is it? Monster, what is it? Damn it. I forgot. Hold on, let me look this up. I got to edit this anyway. And let's look that up. Creature Commandos. I just remembered. Okay. So, Creature Commandos, he has gray hair. Solid gray hair. So, and still played by, damn it, whatever his name is. Frank Grillo? Man, I should just stop talking. But I can't. So, anyway, Frank Grillo. That's what it is. The actor that plays him, his name escapes me at the moment. It is rather late at night doing this. Anyhow, so I'm just confused on the timeline now. Why does he have black hair here? He's not a touch of gray. But then in Creature Commandos, he's gray. So when did this happen? I know Creature Commandos was just like, hey, James, you wanna make a cartoon? Okay. What do you want to do? Maybe this. So that's what happened. James Gunn said it himself. So I don't know where things lie in the timeline. Just having a Frankenstein's monster, and Mrs. Frankenstein in this universe is tricky enough. So, yeah. So, him here listening to a Superman voice and him having a higher pitch voice for Clark, which is interesting. Very, very reminiscent of the, what was it? The George Reeves show back in the 50s and the Fleischer cartoons. Look at, this is a job for Superman. Like, he just changes cadence. Not cadence. He just changes his voice, which is a nice touch. Very nice touch. I know that in Superman Returns, they touched upon him being, Clark being more of a clumsy guy again, because he was imitating Christopher Reeve. But they didn't go that far because they barely even focused on him, which is fine. It's Superman after all. But I'm fine with her as Lois for now. My favorite Lois is from Smallville, Ms. Durrance. This is an interesting here. Okay, yeah, this is supposed to be that war he stopped. So, majority of the trailers, I believe, are in the first, I'm going to say at this point, first hour of the movie. Definitely. We don't see anything that happens later in the film. This is also in the war. He's right in the middle of it. No, he's not. He's in... Where is he? He's being attacked. I think this is probably in... yeah, because it's all burnt up and stuff in the dragon kaiju thing. In Metropolis. And here we got a whole view of everybody, which is nice. Here's Lois Lane, Cat, Grant, some dude... And we got that offensive fellow right there, and then his South American counterpart. Interesting. And Jimmy Olsen. Perfect fit for Jimmy. I like it. I like it a lot. It's perfect. So I see really good casting in this movie. But I really want to see Superman play out. I want to see this costume. His costume's a little contentious. I like that they put the red S in the back, a yellow S in the back, which is very reminiscent of the Christopher Reeve costume and the comic books. It really is a hodgepodge of... here's the front. This really is a hodgepodge of a lot of suits put together, but it's mostly New 52, which apparently not a lot of people like. I didn't mind it too much, but seeing it in 3D, even though the Man of Steel costume had a lot of texture too. Nobody remembers that. And nobody had a problem with that. Nobody had a problem with that suit, with Mr. Superman. And Ultraman. Is it Ultraman? I have no idea. Ultraman comes from an alternate planet. Ultraman is part of the, is it the Syndicate? Crime Syndicate? Yeah. So, I'm interested to know. Because Bizarro is a clone. So, I would like to know what's going on. Here's the engineer. And I don't think she looks like the comics. Here's Crossbones again. So... And the only one that can take Superman in is Superman. So now I'm wondering if it's Dean Cain or Henry Cavill. Who knows? I honestly wanted to see Dean Cain walk out of the car with George Clooney at the end of The Flash. That would have been a great thing. That he just went back in 1990s television and movies. That's where The Flash ended up. ABC Sunday nights. That would have been great. But obviously they didn't hire him because he's conservative, and you can't have that at all, even just for a fantastic joke. Here we are back here. And I think that is Ultraman doing that to Superman. Let's go back here. Go back here. Where is it? Yeah. No. Go back. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, there. See. Probably. The only one that could probably do that to him. And Mr. Lex Luthor. Alright. Right now I'm saying... best Lex Luthor is from Smallville. Best live action Lex Luthor. The best Lex Luthor, period, is Quincy Jones in the animated series back in the 90s. That was the best portrayal. Super genius, billionaire. And he is not on the spectrum. He just... Yeah, that was just... I wish... But that's the best overall portrayal, but the live action definitely goes to Mr. Michael Rosenbaum. Yes. And his podcast, Inside of You. Fantastic. Yeah, so we'll have to see. Nicholas Hoult. Beast. Young Beast. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I understand that he wanted someone roughly the same age as Superman. I understand that, but it would have been fantastic to have Michael Rosenbaum back. It would have been great. Absolutely great. And they're friends. They're friends, and it's whatever. But no hard feelings between the two of them. That's really good. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see, because I always wanted them to be friends, just like in the Superboy comics. So you're harking back to that in Smallville. It would have been really nice, even if, because this movie seems like they're jumping in, like if you jumped in the beginning of, in the first Star Wars movie, New Hope, you're just in it, you don't know what's going on, you just learn as you go. It would have been great in this movie at the very end, like you would just have it, they're friends and everything, they're working together, just the two of them, bringing peace and prosperity to the world, using bits and pieces of Kryptonian technology, maybe. And then Superman, Lex would figure out how to do stuff, and it really advances everything. And Superman just executes that, and he's okay for the first few years or whatever. That Lex is playing second fiddle, because at least he's there doing what he wanted to do, and that is save the world, be the hero that he was always meant to be. And then Superman comes in, and he is the hero that he wants to be. Because he can go and do anything and everything. But instead of that consuming him right away, that jealousy, he befriends him, the two of them, and they work together. Because he's not an evil guy. He's a critter of circumstance, in my vision of Lex Luthor. So you take that, and you just have them have this great friendship and everything. He doesn't know a secret identity. He doesn't know this, that, and the other thing. He doesn't know about the Fortress of Solitude. He just knows that he has technology, and he lets him be. He's like, all right, this is his. I'm not going to track him. There's no need to track him. He's my friend. Blah blah blah. So he just takes everything as it is. And then at some point, I can never figure this out, never really put effort into it because I'm not making a Superman movie, is that he just can't stand it anymore. Because maybe Superman this one time took complete credit for it, or he's just letting them, the news saying that he is credited for this, that, and the other thing, and Lex Luthor did all that himself, and they thought it was Superman. And he just didn't say anything, or whatever. So, and he didn't realize it bothered him. I don't know, something would just give way to Lex getting jealous finally. It really gets into him and eats away at him. And then by the end of the first movie, Lex is just snapped. And he just has to eliminate Superman now. So, that would be great. It would be great in here too, but it doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it at all. So I wonder how much we're not seeing compared to what we are seeing in this trailer, because they do give away a lot of stuff. But yeah, so that's what I would have loved for him, because the greatest heroes have the greatest, even greater villains, and that's what makes a hero so great. Well, comic books anyway. This world doesn't support vigilantism. So anyhow, let's go forward here. Superman doing Superman stuff. Hopefully he saves a cat in a tree. Yeah. Yeah, that's all we needed Henry Cavill to do, was just save a cat in a tree. So what do we have here? I think this comes about after this suit over here. I think this might be Lex's suit. Or at least a robot. I think most likely it's probably a robot, because this is probably after he invades and destroys the Fortress of Solitude, which sucks. I hate when they do that. I want a clean shot. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And it still has a little bit of the 1930s aesthetic, which we'll get to when we get to the fortress shots. I'm going to talk about that, because I realized that when I was watching this trailer. So I think that might be a robot. I really do. And then there's cameras all over. I don't know if that's Mr. Terrific or Lex. It's something. Yeah. And there's Superman making the smallest crater possible. But a crater nonetheless. Alright, here we go. And it's fun that they brought this back. I actually did this for a logo years ago. Yeah, no, it's actually really, really cool they did this, added aesthetics. I don't know, it's just fun. It's just fun. Let's have a fun movie for once. Not so much of a tearjerker and garbage. Let's just have a fun movie. That's all I want. And this is fun. The music is fun. The titling is fun. I wonder what they're doing in the movie, especially since this isn't the logo from here. So this is the font here, and they're using the old Superman or a similar font in the trailer. So all of this is fun. This is just fun stuff. And here we have the fortress growing out, rotating from the previous trailer, and there I think is Crypto bringing Superman or something. No, that's... Oh, I know. That's Lex right there. That's what we're seeing here. That was the establishing shot. And that's some sort of nano suit. Excuse me. The technology in this universe is rather interesting. Her hands, where did they go? Is she just like a robot? I don't know. I gotta look this character up, but we'll see if I do or don't. I don't know. Crypto is definitely his self-insert, and James said that. So it's based on his dog. So I would have liked to have seen a Golden Lab, but it's actually been done a lot. So this is just interesting. But the thing is, though, you have an alien world where a hominid, a homo, what was it? What do they call them? Oh my god, a humanoid alien. You have a world where you have a humanoid alien as a dominant species. Then you have... Oh, he's got two color eyes? Look at that. Anyway. And then you have a canine, a dog, on Earth, they descended from wolves, domesticated for thousands of years by man. And they have the same species on that planet. Well, in the Snyderverse, at some point, an early scout ship came from Krypton, and I think this is what happened, from whatever I read online, watched online, read online, whatever, is that a scout ship came here 100,000 years ago, and they were just normal beings, no powers, nothing. And then over time, this was the only real world that could support life, same as on Krypton. So over time, they genetically engineered themselves to the point where they would go to a different world, and they would absorb the radiation or the thickness of the atmosphere, whatever the case may have been in Man of Steel. And then every planet they went to, they were able to have different powers. And one of the ships that came here after they started doing genetics were the ancient Greek gods, like Zeus and Poseidon and such, and Ares. And they had powers, different powers. Each one had different powers. So everybody was random, I'm guessing. So after enough experimentation and whatnot, they were able to get where everybody had the same powers, is able to absorb solar radiation, don't have to worry about food, water, nothing. You just get everything from the sun and the atmosphere. So basically, you're immortal on a planet with a young enough star to give you enough energy. That was interesting. And then that means that Wonder Woman is Superman's cousin, technically. So we did have Supergirl, I guess? I don't know. But she descends from Zeus, who was an earlier Kryptonian. And for whatever reason, they died or did something, whatever happened to them. So that would be an interesting thing. But here we have a dog from an alien world that has the same powers as Superman. Did they genetically engineer the dogs to be the same as humans? I mean, humans as Kryptonians? I don't know. It's baffling. I only bring this up because it's now in 3 dimensions on a screen where we're supposed to believe this is real in terms of this universe. So, I don't know. But I figured I'd bring it up. Alright, moving on. Yep. Alright, so the robots. Can we see a robot here? Where do we have robots? We don't have robots in this trailer. We have to have robots somewhere. What the hell is this? What is this? And they're hugging while it's happening. I don't know if it's charge or not. I don't know. So, we'll see. And then his father is played, I believe it is the same actor from Constantine. So, that's an interesting crossover right there. He's the priest that was trying to drink himself to death. And he wasn't able to. It just evaporated or didn't come out of the bottle. Whatever the case may have been. And, yeah, so that's an interesting little casting right there. So, and I like that they're older. The thing is that they bring an upbringing that they had that's even older than Clark when he was there. So he gets this like 50s, 60s mentality from his parents that lived in Kansas and grew up in Kansas and all that. So his parents aren't as young as parents that would be, whatever how old Superman is in this. Because when we first meet Superman, he is, growing up, and he is, in his 20s, early 30s, whatever it may be, in the comics. So he hasn't gotten to his height of immortality. So moving on, we have Mr. Terrific and his, I guess, Terrific Pod with his terrific cameras. So I don't think those were his cameras before. I think they may have been Luthor's after he absconded with Kryptonian technology. So, and then we have Mr. Terrific with his force fields and anti-gravity or something or other. So, got him getting beaten in his prison. There is Metamorpho. Right there. He's making kryptonite? No way. Oh my god. He's making kryptonite. Holy cow. How do they know? Oh, this could also be after he learns about kryptonite, because kryptonite is like uranium for us. It's a power source on Krypton. And that's what they were also showing in Man of Steel, that it was the power that powered the world builder, or whatever it was. So let's keep moving. And Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. I don't know why, but apparently she is the reincarnation version of Hawkgirl, not a... oh, man. It's the first time forgetting the aliens. I wish she was an alien. I really do. I like that idea, Earth being attacked by them, by the whole species, or them coming here years ago and whatever. They mixed both of that into Justice League, which was fun. Oh, Thanagar? Thanagarians. Yeah, Thanagar. That would have been great. I don't know why she's a reincarnation person, but apparently these wings are attached to her permanently. So, yeah, terrific cameras. He's got his Professor X chair. It's fun stuff. Maybe even a little flash forward to the chair, the chair from Apocalypse. We got Buzzsaw here. Superman doing his thing at the baseball stadium. Is it baseball? Yeah, it's baseball. Of course it's baseball. What the heck is this? That's like some nano crap going on there. What is that? That's interesting. Got Angry Lex. His black eyebrows. Superman's got the hair, so he's a little jealous of that. So, let's look at this composition, though. Because these are basically final shots. I wonder if they... I think they're contacts or something in his eyes. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, a little like Christopher Reeve shot there. That's fun. New... What is that? Oh... What is that? Regulation? Oh, regulations. That's a G. New regulations will begin next week. Okay. Then we got Guy. Oh, you got shoulder bells. Okay, that's interesting. Whatever. I really thought they were going to have him as the main Green Lantern. That would have been great, because he was the main Green Lantern in the animated series. That would have been 2 voice actors coming back to reprise the live action. Well, second one would be Batman from the Tomorrowverse, which would have been awesome. He would be great as Batman, because he was Batman. Here's her mask and all that. That's pretty cool. It's not much deviation. It's the same thing as any other version of that. Honestly, what was it, Shaira? I wish it was a redhead, to be honest. Oh, this is so stupid. Why do people do this with their tongues? I don't understand why women do this. It's so stupid. At least he's using an iPhone? I don't know. I've never made that one before. Anyway. Oh yeah, there's the robot there, which I'm pretty sure it's a robot. Lex talking to Superman face to face. I wonder if this is really early on and they're just chilling. Okay, why is Lois in the action? Why? Otherwise she'd just be a side... But seriously though, you gotta squeeze her into everything? It doesn't make any sense. Like, she's going to get in her own trouble if she stows away. That's one thing. But if he's just bringing her, that's really dumb. There we go. Okay, so the robots. We got a nice shot of the robots. So Superman was created and published the first time in 1938. I don't know if it's a comic strip or it was a compilation of the comic strips into the first publishing of the comic book. So, what is really interesting is that they're taking the 1930s aesthetics from the comics and applying that to all of Kryptonian technology. It just looks like it's from the 30s, but it's not. It's from Krypton, which is far in advance. Except that we have force fields on Earth when we shouldn't. Unless he shared technology with Mr. Terrific. But the thing is, Mr. Terrific doesn't work for him. Mr. Terrific works... everybody's guessing is with Max Lord, who's played by Calendar Man. Which is baffling. He also plays that ferret guy or whatever. Anyhow, but I like that. That's probably my favorite part of this whole thing, is just the technology. But why are they blue capes, not red? Anyway. So, and of course we have this, probably later. Not too far later. And he goes up, and then he comes back down. What the hell just happened? Is that his face? I wish I could just go frame by frame. I can't go frame by frame. I miss Apple trailers. Oh, it looks like he's falling. But then you can see his face. But I don't know. It's weird. It looks like he's falling. Then we get the new emblem. And it's Kingdom Come with yellow around the edge. So it's an homage to everything. And then what I'm thinking also is that even though Superman's been here for a few years or whatever in the world, and everybody knows who he is and such, I still think that this is definitely going to be like a reverse Kingdom Come, where Superman doesn't come out of retirement to show the new people stop killing people and just be heroes. Is that you have to change your ways now. You can't just be so rough with everybody. You need to have trust with the population. You need them to want you to help them when the time comes, rather than run away and nothing happens. Is just to bring people out of the shadows and bring them into the light. Rather than doing it in his retirement with a new generation, he's doing it now with the main cast of characters. So that's probably why Batman is in the shadows still, and he'll come out eventually. So, yeah, in summation, am I looking forward to the... Oh, that's cool. Am I looking forward to this movie? Yes and no. Which they had wasted Henry Cavill and that whole era with dark brooding stuff, which Justice League, the Snyder Cut, was great. It's fantastic. And even the extended version of Batman v Superman, where they cut out Lex Luthor's motivation, which they should have kept for that half an hour. That was stupid. So it's 3.5 hours instead of 3. But they're long movies. I hope this movie isn't too long. Hopefully it's maybe 2 hours 20 minutes. I hope. Somewhere abouts, because it's just too much with the movies. Get your point across and get done. You don't have to put everything in it. But this does look like everything is in it, unfortunately. I really think they should have saved all the tertiary character superheroes, all of them, for a final trailer, or just leave it for the movie and let Superman do Superman stuff. And hell, Marvel can lie. A lot of people lie in trailers. Heck, the first Back to the Future trailer wasn't even anything in the movie. It was just telling you, hey, here it is, and that's all they released. And it was a top grossing movie of 85. So you don't even have to show anything. Like if I made a, say Thundercats, let's go back. Thundercats live action movie. I would do a live for the teaser, or even just the trailer. I would just say, I would just have it with the original opening of the cartoon, and just have it live action, and just show off what it's going to look like, and show that people that you know what you're doing with the IP, and that you care for it. So, what would have been awesome for this would have been to just, for even the first trailer, do a live action opening of the Superman animated series. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. Just as an example. Doesn't necessarily have to be that, but there's not that many that you can draw from that makes sense. And thematically, that would be the closest thing. Just general, flat line, across the board of just Superman, anything, just music and just scenes that are awesome. Yeah, so we'll see how this plays out July 11th, and we'll go from there. I'll have a review, my opinions, and you'll hear from me about Superman next time there's something announced, or just when the movie comes out. Until then, up, and away! That was lame and cringy, wasn't it? Oh well.